for a column. Next, we will we'll take a look at the add columns function. Here is the syntax for this one. It takes the table as a first argument in the case of add columns, like calculate table and filter function. Even in the case of add columns, it takes the first argument as a table. Okay. And the second one is the name. The name given to the column enclosed in double quotes, and then the expression. So table, name, expression, name, expression, name, expression, name, expression. In the expression, any DAX that returns a scalar expression word for each row of a table. This function is not supported for use in direct query mode when used in calculated columns or row level security rules. You need to remember this one also. Okay, and I will just put some example here. For example, in the case of add columns, in addition to the existing columns in your, or for example, you want to create new columns. Instead of clicking on the new columns in your data view to create each and every column separately, you can use the add columns. You can use this single function add columns to create more than one columns in one go. You can create multiple columns in one go using adding columns, right? So we can say this way also. For example, you remember I created the date dimension table. I just clear this filter before I just go to the data view here. And here what I do is I just select the home ribbon. I'm going to click on the new table. For example, I have a date, dim date column table is there. And if I wanted to add the day name, so what should I do? So for example, in this case, DD I have given here, right? So, and if I give DD or something like that, if I give 4 Ds, it gives me the day in terms of name. In addition to that, I wanted to have the day. So is this I want to 1st January, 1, 2, 3, something like that. Okay, month. So in this case, I need to click on a new column. If I want to have an additional column wherein I wanted to extract only the day from the date column, I need to click on the new column. If likewise, if you want to create more number of columns, each and every time you need to click on the new column. The advantage of new column is you don't have to click on new column each and every time. Okay. For example, I'm going to create a new date table. I just click instead of new column, I'm going to click on the new table. For that, in the data view, you can click on the table tools, and here you will find the new table. Click on it. Yes, Abdul. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing the script itself. You remember that. Very good. Okay. So others, they forgot it. I will just redo it one more time. Okay. Don't worry. And here what I do is dim date. Dim date 2. This is for, I just show you add columns. Okay. For that demo purpose, but don't ever give these names for your table. This for you to understand what functions that I used it here. For that purpose, I'm using this naming convention, dim day to add columns. Okay. Which means it will help you to understand quickly. Calendar auto. Can someone tell me what is calendar auto does? This is a very important function. The interview, they'll ask you all these things. And here, I just go here. The table, what is table here? I did not specify any table name here. Instead, I specify the calendar auto because the calendar auto function itself returns a table. And at the same time, the add columns takes the first argument as the table function. Since this calendar auto returns a table function, it will work still. Okay. And what I do is the next one is, what is this? The table and name given to the column. We define the first argument is what table. And next one is you need to specify some column name. Month, comma, format. Inside this, I just say sales underscore W04 order date. Sorry, not that one. Not sorry, not this one. And your dim date too. Because this one is going to return a date column, I'm sure. Okay. And comma, and I'm going to say something like yum. And I'm going to say the next line. Or what I will do is I just remove this one. Okay, here you don't have to specify the table name at all. You simply specify the date. That is enough. It understands automatically, okay? Because the date column available as part of your add columns itself. Hence, you don't have to specify the table name alone itself. Okay, you specify the column name. That is enough. And plus, and that is the beauty of this one. It reduces your typing time and format. Simply specify date. So this date, where it comes from the add columns itself. Okay, and here, because this function is going to return a table with a column by the name of date by default. So look here, this add columns function returns a table with a date column in it. So we know very well the add columns functions which returns a table with a date column. I have used the date column upfront. Okay, I don't have to specify the table name and all. Right, so hence it is pretty much simple. It'll save a lot of your time. You can add another one. So look here, within a single function, with the help of this single function, we can create more than one column. Otherwise, what will happen? You need to click on the new columns for each and everything. And you can specify the quarter. Simply come here and then type quarter. And /QQ. Likewise, you can include as many columns as possible in a single add columns function itself. You don't have to type, you don't have to click on the new column each and every time. Like how I did it in the past, right? You don't have to do it like this. You can first create a script and then you put it in a single column. It will create multiple columns based on the columns that you specified it here. So this is the syntax here. And I just walk you through the syntax. The add columns takes the first argument as the table, and the second one is the name given to the column. This is the name enclosed in double quotes. Make sure that you are enclosed this one, the double quotes, and then expression, scalar expression. The format function is an expression because it is the one returns the month, year, and quarter separately. Got it? So now we understood how to use the add columns function. Okay, in the calendar, apart from calendar function, what are the other scenarios that I can use the add columns? I just go here. So this is the one we have created a new table. The add columns returned a new table. Okay, but with the help of the add columns, you can return the table. Fine. And is there any other scenario where I can use it? I have sales fact, and do I have the product dimension table? Yes, product dimension table is there. Here I have the cost price. Very good. I just go over here and then I just click on the sales fact table. And here I already have the cost price. I just remove this, or I just rename it instead of removing it. Cost price 1 or something like that. One way it is good, instead of removing the columns, better you rename it. Okay, I just go to the model view. Sorry, I just switch over to the canvas view and I just go to the modeling ribbon. And here I'm going to create a new table here because the add columns function returns a new table. Add columns. My original table is sales fact. One second. Sales fact. And the next one is the column name. I'm going to specify the column name as the cost price. You can specify the column name, whatever you wanted. And the next one is I'm going to use the related function. And then here I'm going to use the dim product. Dim product, I have something called cost price. Here I mentioned about the original table. Already this table is existing. This is my new table name, sales fact. Next one is the column object name month, which has an error here. Month, sales fact month. Sales fact, which has an error. Okay, I did not use month at all. Okay, okay. The sales fact column month. Okay, okay. Already it has some error in it. Let us go and check if this table has no error in it. Sales fact table. I just selected it here, and let me just select the sales fact table. Okay. This is the one as an error, but sales fact table, do you have any error here? The month column, it shows, okay, we have some error. Look here, because of that, it is not working. And first we will go and fix this error in the month. One way it is good, in the real time, you don't think everything will be smooth, okay? If you have an error like this, how you are going to fix it? Most of the time you will get errors. And the month column, it was showing the month column, there was an error here. Okay, I just go to the order ID and month column. I just quickly go to the view ribbon and then I just select, go to column and I just type month. You don't see month at all here. So how come it shows month as an error? Just give me a second here. This is a painful thing. Control or Shift H. Okay. Here, I don't see any month here. I don't know why it is showing month as an error. I just, sorry, not sales W0, sales fact. In the sales fact, we don't see month at all here. I don't know why it was throwing error. Let me just refresh it. I just tidy this page. Yeah. So month is not at all there, and it was throwing an error there. Okay. And what is the table name that I created it? And this is the table, not this table. Sales fact. Yeah, this is the one. A related function, the expression about a column object name sales fact month. I don't have any month column at all. Why it is throwing an error? Let me just check here. The refresh has been done. Okay. And can we see any month here? Nothing, right? I just close and apply. And then we'll go and check because it requires a relationship. And here, sales fact table. Where is the sales fact table? Yes, the sales fact table and dim product table have a relationship here. Product ID and product ID. And product ID and product ID. It's not highlighting it here. Yeah, it shows month here. Can you see here? There is something, causes some problem here, right? So here, if you go here, and if you take a look at here, the month is visible here, whereas the same table, I did not see it in the. So what was the problem there? The month column is visible here. 1 second. I just remove this one for the time being. This is really helpful for you guys. Though it sounds confusing, it is really helpful. See here, the month column is available, but whereas the month column was not available anywhere. Where? In your Power Query. Why? Why it was not available? Why it was not available? Yes, Abdul, you are correct. Because if you do it anything in your data, it's kind of a virtual column that is not available. Virtual column, if you add any new column in your data view, that is not visible in your Power Query data. Okay. That is also the reason why better you create any additional column in your Power Query data itself. Okay. Now let's go back to our table. Now this issue got resolved. Look here, no error. Now no error. So the error is not there. And sales fact. Now, if you go click on the sales fact with respect to this one, right? You can see all the columns and here. If you go to the sales fact, the new table, 1 second, I just select the newly created table. This is the one, sales fact with cost price. This is the one I renamed it, the previously existed one. Now I just go and check, look here, this is the one is actually coming from my product table. The cost price in most of the cases, it will not be available in your fact table. The cost price will be available in your dimension product table along with the product name. But in that case, I wanted to have a cost price also as part of my existing table, but it should be fetched from my product dimension table. I have 1 billion products are there. Okay, in that case, you cannot manually type key in here. Okay, so what you do is, first of all, you cannot input any value here. That is a different story altogether. But so you need to, if you want to make the cost price as part of your fact table, because the cost price column is available in dimension, product dimension table. So you can use a related function. In that kind of situation also, you can use add columns. This is another example. The existing table, the sales fact table, don't disturb the other columns. Instead, you can, this is another way of, the previous example, I have shown you how to create a fresh table using the add columns function. In this case, we take the original table. In the original table, we add a new column, but that column, new column is not available here. Do a lookup in my product dimension table. From there, you go and pick up the cost price for the corresponding product and then put it in my sales fact table under this column cost price. Got it? So these are the situations you can use add columns. Okay, to summarize, the add columns takes the first argument as the table, and using which you can create, you can return a table wherein you can specify all the columns that are required in a single script itself, and then you can create a table. But you can also use a existing table, original table. For that original, sorry, first of all takes the table as an argument, which means the existing table. Not necessarily existing table, you can use a calendar auto. In the case of date dimension, I use the calendar auto function. You remember, I believe all of you remember the calendar auto function that I discussed as part of the date table creation. You can watch that video, okay? If you want it. Either you can use a function which returns a table, or you can use the existing table. So in this case, the original table sales fact, I used it. In that table, I did the lookup. Here, the expression need not to be the arithmetic expression. I use a related function there. The related function will do a lookup for each product ID in your sales fact table into your product dimension table. And then it fetches the cost price, and then it will make it part of your existing table itself.